What's happening? What's going on? What it do? It's hump day. Wednesday. Wednesday Sports T, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, your Big Sam, aka the bad guy, in the building. As usual, next to me is the franchise. The youngin to be pulling in here after a while. We got a few topics.
How everybody doing today?
Yeah, we got a few topics, just a couple quick topics and a quick message. We ain't gonna hold you long. There ain't a whole lot going on. Unless you sleep up under a rock, you know that the King James has opted into his player option. There are many layers of narratives rolling around with that one. I mean, but it is what it is. When you great, they hate. You know, that's just how that go. Damian Lillard has been discarded out of Milwaukee, and the Boston Celtics are having a fire sale.
Everybody must go.
The message is if we ain't gonna have Tatum, we ain't gonna be shit. Everybody got to go. Interestingly enough, I mean, because that's basically what that says. Yeah, literally, they are going down, and they are literally piece by piece getting rid of that championship team.
Yep.
You know you're not gonna have Tatum, for 2026, and y'all panic. We got to blow it up and start all over. Really? That's what y'all think of Jaylen Brown and the rest of them boys? That team ain't shit without Jason Tatum. Interesting. It's disrespectfully interesting. But yes, that's
very disrespectful.
Our Atlanta Hawks are getting busy. They made a couple of signings. They came out of the draft to the good. There's a strong chance. It's a strong chance with the diabolical madness that's going on in the East. The Hawks can make some noise. I think it's going to be a relatively nice season for our Atlanta Hawks. That's what I think.
I agree.
Some other people may think otherwise, but I think Trae Young and this team, Luke and Dash and Jalen is completely healthy. And we will be a particularly handful to deal with in the East.
Don't do that.
It is what it is, man. I mean, fans are going to feel the way they feel and say what they say. And throw shade where they throw shade, and it is what it is. I love my Hawks. I've loved my Hawks since 1981. Okay, I'm all the way back to Eddie Johnson and Dan Roundfield. So long time. Yeah, this defense shifting gears to the Atlanta Falcons. This defense has dominated the offseason. And they have dominated in practice. They're putting it. They're getting it down, getting it done. The youngins. There's a good possibility that we may have five rookies to start on this defense. it's an interesting thing. It's a good thing. Iron sharpens iron. Um, you've heard me say that before. But as things stand, um, how do you feel, Ant, about what's been has been said, what's been coming out of Flowery Branch about this defense and this young nucleus?
Well, fresh blood is a breath of fresh air, something that we've been needing for a long time, and we've already been through um, periods of time where our offense has dominated our defense. Now, that's not saying that this offense is not capable. That's just saying that our defense is making major steps forward. And, and like you said, iron sharpens iron. And I think this is going to bode well come training camp, of course, preseason games, and then later on, and like in the latter parts of the season after the bye, these dog days that we call it,
Yeah,
um, it's gonna come in handy, down the stretch.
yeah, yeah.
It's about
You've
damn
had,
time.
yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
you've had a couple of guys to play their way up, work their way up. That caught the coach's eye, if you will, and getting the nod in certain situations. Um, one being Kobe, um, the other being Bowman, naturally expected. Um, Trice, Trice being the other, being another. Um, and a lot of noise being made by the gorilla, the Roro.
Hmm.
Uh, and we kind of touched on this last week, I believe, about um, how you're hearing from a lot of these guys that that they're bought in, to the vision of Jeff Albright, and with all the other everything that has come out of camp, with it, and uh, being 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 healthy, being in place, being available, being aggressive, being violent, being studious, and all of the above, especially from these young guys. Um, and then a lot is being said and given to uh, Jalen Walker's leadership capabilities. Getting next to JB and following his lead. As one of the leaders on this defense and on this team. I myself, I can't wait to see, what I'm saying, some on the field activity
Hmm.
to see the finished product, if you will, especially on this defense. Especially on this defense. Because I just simply believe that, so goes his defense, so goes his team. You know, that's what I mean. I'm of the mindset that this offense is going to be this offense. You know what I'm saying? There was not a whole lot that we had to do, you know what I'm saying, to this offense this season. I think what we brought in, what we added, what we drafted was just icing on the cake. I think this offense is gonna be top 10, maybe even top 5. The thing is, do we have the defense to stop some people?
Therein lies the question, right there.
Yeah. In lies the question. You know, can it, you know, this defense, are we gonna be able to smash and grab? What I mean by that, smash teams, grab wins. You know, close out games. You know, close out situation, third down situations. You know, get off the field on third down at least 50% of the time.
Yes.
Most time when your defense can get off the field 50% of the time, that means your offense, you know what I'm saying, it has at least anywhere from, 10 to 15 possessions. And dominating clock. If your offense is dominating clock, most 9 times out of 10, you're winning the game because your defense is not spending a whole lot of time on the field.
Bingo.
There are a lot of narratives. There are a lot of stories that are going to be, huge. You know what I'm saying, coming out of preseason. It is so much in camp, especially defensively. It is so much. We're gonna see. There are gonna be some people that get cut, and everybody's gonna be like, "Brr." That's just speaking to the level of the talent that is, in the building. You're gonna see somebody get a pink slip that you're not gonna expect to see get a pink slip. Because we have some situations coming up to deal with. I mean, I said a month or so ago, we drafted these safeties, to deal with. We drafted these safeties and signed these safeties to deal with the problem of the tight ends, you know what I'm saying, handing us our ass. But I also believe that we drafted these safeties because I don't think we're going to, JB has an extension time coming up. And I don't think we're gonna spend that money. Not to saying that he don't deserve it. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, financially, financial situation dealing with. Because on the other side of the ball, are you gonna let Drake walk? Are you know what I'm saying? Bijan's check coming up. Are we going to be trying to keep Tyler in the building? I'm just going to say this now. I think it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to keep Pitts. Financially speaking, he's going to be the easiest one to keep. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, are we going to? Because when you're really looking at it, a lot of what is it Mike been saying for years now. If you pay attention to what they're doing, now the Falcons tell you all the time what they're gonna do.
Yep.
We drafted 2, signed 1. To me, that says we're not gonna make Jesse Bates the highest paid safety in the league coming up next year. Unless there be a conversation that gets had and he don't and he gives us a discount. But the way he has played, I don't He gonna want them coins.
I don't think we need to.
Hmm.
I don't think we need to because I think that the way that we are training our young DBs now, they're going to be ready to go come the first game.
I mean,
They
watch.
was already playing like professionals in college.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think all Jesse has to do whenever he's ready, just pass the baton. That's it.
yeah,
That's all he got to do.
yeah. I mean, we could, uh, we could easily let him, just be like thanks for thanks for your service and thanks for your time and ladies and gentlemen, that the old ball and chain, my other half is my baby, she, you know.
Don't hurt him too bad.
Oh, but we could probably easily say, what I'm saying, thanks for your service, sir. Um, we can let you go find things and greener pastures unless like, hey, I want to be here. I'll take this. Can you give me this
Right.
much?
Yeah.
And something like that. But
If
other
he
than that,
wants to retire here, okay, I'm cool.
yeah,
I'm good with that.
yeah. That'll be the only way the scenario goes down that he stays after this year. But otherwise, having the last two, especially the last 2 years that he has had, ooh, there's a check out there, with his name on it. There could possibly be a better situation out there with his name on it, a championship situation. Not saying that a championship situation can't roll up here, but if we're talking big picture financially, um, you know, now unless some kind of way that we have them coins, then all bets are off in their age. We can move on with life and keep it moving. And JB's in the building, you know. But to me, drafting Watts and Bowman Jr. kind of lets me know that we're setting things up for life. You know what I'm saying? Life after Jesse Bates. But that's just me.
Yeah,
I just we're reading the tea leaves, so to speak.
Yep.
Hey, Christy, what's up, William?
Hey,
Coach,
Miss Christie.
what's going on? Who that? Frank Bibbs, how you doing? Nice to see you here again, sir. Always pleasure. You know what I'm saying? To see you tuning in. I appreciate all people. Xavier, what's happening? I like to tell you all the time, I appreciate y'all tuning in. And, I love you guys. I really do. You know what I'm saying? For, to, tune in to hear what I have to say and talk about, on these here particular shows. Um, it's this camp. It has the smell, it has the feel, it has the antsy hair standing up on the back of your neck feel, so to speak. Defensive, like I said before, when you hear guys saying, we're bought in, you know, we're having, excellent conversations. The coaches make you feel like, what I'm saying, whatever's on your mind, they put it into, whatever we're doing, and we want to learn. And when you hear those things, coming from your young nucleus, when you hear those things coming from your veterans, you know, and and it becomes a theme. Everybody's bought in. The defensive locker room are bought in. The defensive players are bought into to what Albright's vision is. And most times when you hear that, you normally see something special happen. You know, um, yeah. I'm feeling like that too. A little anxious,
Oh
ready
yeah.
for it to get going. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the that's the thing. The having a defensive identity, a violent and surgical, uh, you know, scheme written identity to dominate. Uh, having offensive coordinators, opposing offensive coordinators coming here losing sleep, coming to face this defense. It would, like I say, it would be a breath of fresh air to be able to feel like that, to be able to see that. You know, um, this preseason, I can't wait for it to get started. To start to see, you know, um, how things are going to fill out. Who's going to emerge as a starter? Who's going to emerge as a situational piece? Who's going to emerge as a consummate leader? Who's going how what's going to come from, what I'm saying, come out of this camp? What how this defense is going to be shaped, and what are they going to be doing? Um, we know that the scheme is 3-4 disguise, a little bit of 4-6. So you got that, coming in. D Cash, what's happening? Uh, G Hunter, what's good? Nice to see you again. I you know I would never wonder. Didn't believe the hype. I didn't see Pittsburgh letting arguably the best edge in the NFL leave Pittsburgh. So
No, no.
I'm just saying, the Ramsey trade to me was kind of a shocker. Y'all getting rid,
No,
trading Minka
I did.
Fitzpatrick. I had me scratching my head a little bit, you know, but hey, it should work out. But I will say this, just to double down on Mad Mike a little bit, shift and gears a little bit. Yeah, I think that if you have if you have one of those 9-8, 10-7 type of things, I kind of think this may be it for Tomlin. That's just my little thought. Just sitting from the cheap seats. Falcons 4L, long time no see. Nice to see you in here. Everybody just checking in. Boomer, what's happening? What's going on? Um, but yeah, that's the state of affairs that I believe that he is up there in Pittsburgh with Tomlin. Um, he's had that run, and it's you haven't did it's what it's 2025 about to be 2026, and uh you ain't seen the AFC Championship game since when? Just just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
you know, you ain't seen the Super Bowl since Big Ben,
That's a long
you
time.
know. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But hey,
Man,
It is what it is. Um, as much as I hate to even agree with you, I don't like agreeing with you, but I agree with that. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because this, when we talking about a guy that and I said it in the fellas chat yesterday. I don't know how y'all gonna get anything done over there between Aaron Rodgers' ego and Jalen Ramsey's ego in that locker room. It ain't gonna be no too much room for anything else. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It ain't a whole lot of room for anything else between those two egos, you know. But hey, it is what it is. Good luck.
hey,
Good luck. Y'all thought y'all
yeah.
had issues with Antonio Brown's ego in the building. Boy, y'all
Mm.
got Aaron Rodgers and Taylor Manson.
Ooh, man, we ain't got to deal with that.
All right, shifting gears back to the Dirty Birds. Kobe Bryant taking CB2 by week 5. Um, well,
I don't know about that.
uh, Mike Hughes has proven, to be AJ's running mate. Um, I think Kobe. I mean that could be true in year 2. That could be true for year 2, but I think this year, I think Mike Hughes holds that spot down. I think he does. He earned that, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hey, if I'm wrong, you'll see me on here. Hey, I'm wrong. Shout out to the boy. I'm just saying, you know, I don't. He's doing his job. He's doing what he has to do in camp. I give you that. He's getting it done. He was one of those that are moving up. He's working his way up. Um, I think at best he'll get a whole lot of nickel and dime action. He'll definitely be in some packages, in certain situations. Um, because he is one of them type of cornerbacks that sticks his nose into the run game relatively well. You know what I'm saying? But and give us your diagnosis on it's been with all the things that have come out of camp and the workouts, the work it up, the names, and you know, give us your defensive prognosis.
Well, first when it pertains to Kobe Bryant, I think I want to see what he does in training camp first before we put anything on him because yeah, he's doing great, in practice, but what is he going to do in the in training camp and preseason?
Mm-hmm.
We got to and the joint practices. We have to see him, going against other wide receivers other than ours, to make that determination. And I think people understate Mike Hughes' role on this team. He he basically played himself into a second contract with Atlanta last year because without him, our CB2 would have been trash. Like it was. He, he helped us a whole lot last year,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to see what he's going to bring this year as well. So I'm really looking forward to what this defensive line or the front seven is going to look like. What what our packages are going to look like. Who's going to be put together and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking forward to come training camp.
Right. 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 Uh. Well, pretty much. It's a pretty good discussion, if you will, for the defense. We're gonna shift gears to our young quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. and his journey to this point. Um, how his injury history has molded him into what he is now and what he's going to be. And we are, as noted, is well documented. His injury history through college. Um, Tearing up, he tore up both knees. Um, he was when he first got into college, he was um, y'all's favorite type of quarterback. That run around, run around, run around, run around, run around, run around, around. He was doing all that. He messed around and got both them things tore up, and he had a lot of time to sit and to watch the game from a different perspective. And then he landed in Washington and took those guys. He took that school to the national championship game. And you saw a lot in that season from Michael Penix Jr. In that journey to the national championship game. All of that and the preseason workouts and the 3 games that he started on last year. And being able to watch him off the field and listen to him talk. It seems to be a very large, humble output. He seems to understand the gravity of his situation. He seems to understand the moment, because just as well you see on the field his poise. You see on the field his ability, some of the abilities that he has, where he looks like a seasoned veteran. Um, and seeing him and hearing him talk off the field and watching him on the sidelines in practice, he has the movement of a franchise player. He has the movement of a 10-year vet. It needs to make you want to kind of sort of wonder, just how good is Michael Penix as the Atlanta Falcons quarterback? And, the young QB with a seasoned veteran mindset. You know what I'm saying? That mixture, that test tube shake up, and pour it into a mixture, you get what we've seen so far. and from his character, and he speaks his mind. He let the team know. I want to get my guy involved. This is what I want to do. You could see, you know, personnel movements offensively. Huh. The receivers and the tight ends and running backs. You're gonna have a full complementary, of options at his disposal in the game plan in the offensive scheme of Zach Robinson. I guess the question would be, from the start, from the moment he stepped into the facility to this point, what stands out the most to you about Michael Penix?
His confidence. That's he's confident behind whether that's getting the ball out or with his play in the huddle on the sideline. He's confident that he can be the best quarterback that he can be because of all the stuff that he has gone through, whether that's in Indiana or at Washington. And it's molding him into becoming this. How can I put it? It's like a shield that he has. He's so well, like he's well put together. He knows he can run if he needs to, but he's gonna get the ball out, and he knows he can get the ball out. So I think it's his confidence and his mental that I've seen improve since he's been here.
Hmm. So as I'm reading these comments, D Cash, you must be a Falcon, a Panthers fan.
We got
If
to.
I'm understanding this conversation correctly, I'm just trying to get a little understanding. There's a little bit of tat trash talk going on here. You must be a Panthers affiliate.
Sound like we got to troll. That's what
I,
that sounds like.
it's all right. I mean, now what I'm reading. You did say something right now. Now me, I can talk to you directly, because I feel we do have a some semblance of some type of defense, but I don't know from your. Uh, From your, let's see, 4 years of trash play, but I don't think y'all been over 500 in like 7 years.
Look who's talking.
Uh, yeah, he is a Panther. Yeah, he's a
Yeah, he
Panther.
got that Panthers hat on
Yeah,
and his thing.
yeah, he is. Um, Look, a lot can be said. Yeah, we ended the season. There's been a few 9-7, some 8-8, in that in there. Um, it's a lot better than 4-12, and 5-11. It's a lot better than multiple double-digit lost seasons that you've had. over the last 5 to 6, sir. I mean, but hey, the proof will be in the pudding. Yeah, y'all, you got the little win in week 18. Yeah, you did. It happened. It did. It did.
Okay.
You
So
know.
what?
All right.
You want a cookie?
You know. It is what it is. Um. You know. Close only counts in horseshoes, which is true, but we were a lot closer to the playoffs than you guys were last year, the year before that, and the year before that. You know, but hey, it's gonna come out in the wash in the season. It's gonna come out. Y'all did a little work. You know what I'm saying, with your personnel, with your draft. You know what I'm saying, this past draft and whatnot. Y'all did a little work. You know, it's all a little bit of what you did. The question I could ask you the same question that you know what I'm saying that you was trying to pose. I mean, because is Bryce gonna take a step forward, or is he gonna take multiple steps backwards? Is your defense gonna be able to save Bryce? You know, that could be a question that's that you would have to answer, sir. You know what I mean? And so I mean, don't try to come in here and act like what I'm saying. Y'all coming off of a 13-4 season and was in the Super Bowl. I don't remember seeing anything Pantherish that were in the playoffs. We weren't either, but you coming here, what I'm saying, talking like you 6'8", 350, and y'all coming off a championship season. No, you didn't. Yeah, bring that down a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and put a little understanding and humbling on your situation, sir. You know,
In other words, what he's saying is wipe your feet off before you come in my house. That's basically what he's saying.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. You
I
know,
mean, it says it all right there.
it's just saying. Just saying, bro. You all up and down up here this thing. Talking big hard, like like y'all been dominating or something, bro. And especially coming off of a particular offseason. Um, you got him, but all I'm gonna say is you had no business drafting Bryce Young to begin with. You sent your best player on the team, you know what I'm saying, to Chicago, you know what I'm saying, DJ Moore, instead of fixing your offensive line. But you want to talk about the smart or not so smart or whatever the case may be of our movements. But I think for a few seasons to come, y'all are still going to be wearing feeling the effects of that. And until you get your offensive line fixed, his life is going to be a tad bit difficult for Bryce. So, what I'm saying? Like you're trying to be smart, be smartly saying the question to you is, can your defense save Bryce Young? Can your defense keep your offense in the game? And in hopes that Bryce Young is able to make some magic happen. I'm just saying, you know, are you sure your offensive line is fixed? Are you sure? You sure about that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying. Just saying. When the season gets started, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. You know. Let's see what Krista says. This demonstrates how one game can blow your mind. They should thank us for the gain in confidence. Yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
I agree.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
Thank
Yes,
you, Chris. Yes,
thank you, Christy.
yes, yeah. You know what I'm saying? JB1, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Appreciate you for joining. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with having confidence in your team. By all means, feel confident. But sometimes you get a little carried away and say some overly smart dumb things. You know, you know that week 18. It was a great game to be watched. At some point, but and true to form, our dumbass Homer Simpson ass coach Raheem Morris did a whole lot of dumb shit in that game, especially in the fourth quarter. But yeah, it happened. That hit, it did. You know, but again, you're marching into this set and you're talking like y'all were coming off a championship season, bro. Y'all were just we were a lot closer to a playoff than you were. Yeah, and that's just the real of it. Yeah, it is what it is. But again, close only counts in horseshoes. Um, and yeah, if you was watching, I had a whole lot to say about Homer Simpson, and I still got a whole lot to say about Homer Simpson. Because he's got to let his coordinators do their jobs, which seems like it is headed in that direction. But as far as the Panthers are concerned, mm, um, we gonna see what the Kitty Woo Woos are gonna be able to do, and what and how you all's decision making in your off season will come to bear. Uh, JB, you stupid. You stupid. And let me rephrase that. Bryce, little man, tiny hands, young, and y'all talking about y'all got us beat. Oh, yeah.
Man, okay.
Hey, all right. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Uh, uh, um, uh, I mean, but hey, um, coming into this season, like I said to start, I'm not even worried about our offense. What we did in the offseason offensively was icing on the cake. Because I think the offense is going to be fine. We still have our run game intact. Um, Barring any catastrophic injuries, this offense is going to be top 10, maybe even top 5. Uh, all the questions that are questions about this team remains on the defensive side of the ball. Like you said, to begin with, if you're listening to the theme, you're listening to the rhetoric, you're listening to the talk of the defensive guys and the defensive coaches. The guys are bought in. You're standing ready and anxious for this season to get started defensively, and to see exactly how this young talent mixed with a few seasoned veterans in the right spots is going to show up and show out. You know, that's just that right there in itself. Um, I mean, well, he's not wrong, Cash. He is little. He does have little hands. Uh, you know,
Yes,
where's the lie?
and he is short in stature. So where's the lie?
Where's the lie? He is small. He is. There's no lie there. I mean, but hey, again, like Ann said, a troll would be a troll. So that is what it is going to be.
Hey,
Um, you know, to I take my quarterback's size and maturity over, you know what I'm saying, the midget complex any day. Just saying. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. Um, I think I think who I'm not sure. I can't remember who said it. I mean, but yeah, y'all wish to be out, but you know, look, Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly are not walking through that door in Carolina. I'm just saying. Just putting that out there. You know, um, it's are y'all going to be as bad as the Saints, or you going to be better than the Saints? You talking about being around, divisional rivalry, yeah, but good old fashioned hate. No, that's us and the Saints. And that's
no,
that's
no,
nationally
no.
worldwide known from a rival perspective.
Yeah,
Um, it is what it is.
I hate the
Uh,
Bucks more than I hate y'all.
you, you
Gone
know,
somewhere.
um, the record as well says it. Um, but as far as this season coming up, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see you. You know. Um, yeah. I mean, you're coming off of a couple of 3-12, 5-11 seasons. I mean, and to be talking about we ain't been over 500, ain't been over 570. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Uh,
Trash talk is trash talk. Trolling is trolling. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But I see you looking inquisitive over there. Are you pulling up some numbers?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I just find it hilarious how that people, a Panthers fan is
You
trying
said,
to troll us about not being over 500 when they haven't been over 500. I don't.
yeah, he
It's
said
not
that.
connecting. It's not connecting. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He said that.
Come on,
He
guys.
said that. You
You
know,
come on. If you're going to troll, you got to do better. You got to do better.
I mean, because I was looking, I'm just like, he talking like they coming off of 4 or 5 straight years of being in the conference championship game, like, won a Super Bowl or something. Wow,
Matter of
come on
fact,
now,
you know
hold
what?
that
I think
down.
I am about to stat check.
Hold that down now, young man. I mean, I love a good brouhaha trash talk too, but it's sort of like the rap game. When you do a diss track, what hurts the most is some facts. That's not factual, there, young man. You know, um, I mean, but like I said, it's gonna come out in the wash. Like, and being prisoner of the moment. Yeah, week 18, it happens. It happens. Yeah, it did. It happened. Okay, but we beat y'all too. You know, what I'm saying? It is
Okay,
what it is.
look, the last
What
time
you
they
look at?
was over 500 was 2017.
Mm. Well,
But
now
y'all
8
talking
years
shit
ago.
about. Hold on, but then we go to the playoffs at 18.
Yeah, yeah, we
But
did.
I'm.
Yeah,
It's not. It's not.
yeah, yeah,
Come on. If you're
yeah.
gonna troll, come correct. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
like that's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
And then a part of that, let's see, one they've only finished second in the past 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
They've only finished second in the division twice. Out of the other ones, they finished third or fourth. But y'all talking shit about us?
I mean, he said we was he said we was 7-9 in 2018.
That's still not over 500, sir. You know what?
No,
No,
he
no,
said
no.
that about us. He said we was 7-9 in 2018.
I didn't say anything about what the record was. I said we went to the playoffs. See,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm not gonna listen to this selective hearing people. No, we're not gonna do this. I don't have the time and I don't have the patience for people like you. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're trying to single the record. 2018, we went to the playoffs. Y'all didn't. See, it's another one of them. He's doing what a lot of people that come up against us try to do. You want to be right instead of being factual. I mean, but okay. And see, we'll award you a cookie for that. You know, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, it'll come out in the wash.
Oh yeah, the truth gonna come out during the season. I ain't worried about
I mean, cause he down there big word and
Oh, word.
he capital letter in it. Yeah, you proving
Oh,
my
so
point.
he yelling at people now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
you know what I'm
Mm,
saying. You're talking about us being in the playoffs, and he's talking about the record.
mm.
You know, but I mean, it's understandable. I get, and here I thought Saints fans were retarded, but I mean, your representation
No.
of Panther Nation is astounding, there, brother. we're talking about being in the playoffs in 2018, and you're talking about the record. Okay, all right, yeah.
Hmm.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, uh, our situation's closer to being fixed than y'all's are, and you all, and again, like I said, you're gonna be you're behind the 8 ball. You know what I mean? Um, that DJ Moore trade, I think y'all gonna be feeling that for years, for years. Yeah, you're going to be feeling that for years. I don't think that was the smartest move. I think that might have been one of the dumber moves in NFL history, um, trading away DJ Moore. I mean, but that's just my opinion. Um, you know what I'm saying? And then defensively, got rid of Burns. You sent, let Burns get out to Vegas. Um, I was looking what y'all personnel moves defensively to fill that void. But many fraud that are going to involve that are going to. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't mind the situation that we're in at this point. I think from a personnel standpoint, we answered a lot of questions. We filled a lot of voids. We filled a lot of needs. I think tremendously it will come out on the field uh, a lot more than what I'm saying. Situation is in Carolina, but hey, we'll see you. We will see you. You know, it is what it is. I take my quarterback over your quarterback any day. Um, it is what it is. And then even looking at my defense right now, I'm going to take my defense over yours. And no, our defense is not going to have to save our quarterback, but your defense is going to save your quarterback. You know, but like I said, we will see you. And when we see them, was it week 3? Did we see them?
Something like that.
Because I know we got Tampa week 1. I think it's
We
week
got
3
Tampa
that we
week
see
1.
them.
I know that for
Yeah.
For a fact.
Because I definitely want to revisit this conversation when we see them. I'm make sure that I'm going to set that date right now. What I think week 3 or 4 or something.
We see them. I think that's week 3. Yeah.
Week 3. Yeah. Week 3. Man, we're gonna etch this in stone right now, D Cash. Week 3. I'm setting it. I'm putting it on the calendar. Week 3. I want you to be present. I'm gonna have you on the show. Okay. We're gonna revisit this conversation. No matter the outcome, we're gonna revisit this conversation. Week 3. D Cash will be on the tee to represent his Panthers, no matter the outcome of the game. We're setting that in. We're setting that in. I want you to be present. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gonna handle that. That's how we handle this right here. You know, week 3. Okay. Yeah, front and center. Win or lose. Show up or shut up.
That's it.
That's how I handle that. You know, so the teapot is empty, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about the D. We talked about, you know what I'm saying, our opposing quarterback. You know, just want to real quick. You ain't about that life. When you say certain things, you have to be prepared to live that when you say that. Check the resume, boy. And you know who I'm talking to. Check the resume. And him. Tennessee ain't far. Pull-up game strong.
Yeah. Couple hours. That's all it takes.
You know what I'm saying? So when you say some of the things that you say, like seeing people and all this, that, and the third, okay, be prepared to live that, my guy. Because you ain't about that life. You ain't never been about that life. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. Y'all heard me say this before. Find something intellectually safe to do. Which means get your weight up on your information, on your intel, and you won't find yourself mad and bothered when somebody takes your uninformed self and checks you and corrects you. It's just that simple. If you can't take the heat, don't hit send. Just the word to the wise, all right? But you know, other than that, and you got any closing thoughts?
Man, I got a question before I get my closing thoughts. Ain't this the same one that was talking all that major shit before the first get together that we had a couple years ago? And then when we
yeah,
pulled
yeah,
up,
yeah,
oh, now you all
yeah.
buddy buddy.
Hit him downstairs.
See,
Mm-hmm.
nah, come on, bro.
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
I cannot get along with people like that. I'm sorry, like because you're showing me that you're full of shit. But anyways,
Yeah.
we appreciate everybody, support coming out, supporting us. Y'all could been doing anything else. Y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned for anything that Unholy Alliance, AFN, and what other we got going on. Y'all stay tuned.
Yeah, I think the heavy hitters are tonight. Later on tonight.
Yep. Yep.
Y'all will see me Friday. Um, you more likely to see the franchise too as well. I'm guessing Young Knight probably taking a nap and then slept through the show again. But look, this is what we do, how we do when we do it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody for joining. Y'all hit that like button for me, man. Everybody tuned in back there, them eyes watching, hit that like button. If you ain't a part of it, hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? I'm at 275 now. I'm halfway to my mark for 500. You know, trying to get it done. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Mucho, you back off the road. Got to get you back in the building there, young man.
Yes, sir. We gotta get you back in
Yeah, got to
shape.
get you back in the south, man. Holler at me. Yeah, we doing some things, building teams, you know what I'm saying, building channels, you know what I'm saying, expanding, doing a whole lot. But hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, for joining. I appreciate you. So, hey, we're gonna keep it we're gonna keep it dirty. And most notably, we're gonna keep it real with yourself. I bet I can get with me. You know what I'm saying? Let your next choice be your best choice, man. And for the franchise, we out.
Peace.